Look what came in the mail today. As many of you know, I've been a Worksharp guy for a very long time. I know the folks over at Worksharp over there in Oregon, and known them for a while. Been there to their shop a few times. Very cool bunch of people. I have this and a few other Worksharp tools that I use to sharpen knives and scissors and lawnmower blades, all that kind of stuff. Very cool device. It does have an expendable though, belts. So I ordered some belts because recently I went to go sharpen a knife of mine, and it's my EDC. It's the Columbia River Knife and Tool Homefront Ken Onion edition. Now, I've known Ken Onion for a while too. Shooting Kid and I have hooked up with him a few times over at SHOT Show. Nice guy. Anyway, I went to EDC with this thing to cut up some kindling because I was building something and I don't even remember exactly what the need was other than to cut through some wood. And in that piece of wood, there were nails buried inside. So along the edge here, I really jacked it up. I nicked it up pretty bad. Even Shooting Kid looked at it and went, "You've got nicks in your blade." And that's unusual for me because I take really good care of my knives. Before we go any further, this is not a sponsored video. I paid for all of this stuff myself, with the exception of that Worksharp, which was a gift early on. But I don't owe them anything. They don't owe me anything. I just love the product. And I've got a link down below, though, if you want to get one, or any of these abrasives, or any of the other sharpening tools. Take advantage of it. Hey, you caught me while I was getting ready to make some dinner. But before I do that, gotta sharpen my knife. Got my trusty Worksharp. Let's get down to it, shall we? There you go. Now I gotta go cut off the fat for my chicken. Hey, if you want a Worksharp, use one of my links down below. Order yourself a Worksharp. You can sharpen up all of your knives, including your kitchen knives. Very easy to use, very effective, and gets razor sharp. You might want to buy one. Use my link. It doesn't cost you any more, but it does help me out. Thank you. I tell you what, I've got an ultra microscopic lens thing, and let's take it down to the table and I'll show you the nick that's in there. Now, I've already dressed this knife a little bit, and that's what led me to, man, I got to get some new abrasives because even the abrasives weren't abrasive enough. And I'll put that into the microscope as well. Let's take a look. Yeah, Columbia River Knife and Tool, first production of the Homefront. That's why it's such a special knife to me. Oh, and then if you look on this side. Yeah. It's the Ken Onion design. All right, here's the edge. And, you know, as you can see, it's pretty okay right there, but that's not where I hit it with the nail. There, you see that right there? Let's see if I can... Right there. That nick right there, well, that's not half as bad as it was. I was able to get it down quite a bit. Let's see, where is that? Yeah, right there. That little section right there. And then let me show you what the belt looked like that I was working with. It was the coarse belt. But it was, I'm going to show you a brand new one in just a second. That's the coarse. I need more light, huh? Yeah, that's the coarse belt. And it's a little long in the tooth. As a matter of fact, it snapped. It broke. Let me show you a brand new one. There you go. Far more, and then edge to edge, of course, better, but far more aggressive. It's not pounded down. So here's an AV comparison. The top one, you see how it's kind of gray colored? It's because it's all buffed over. The bottom one's is the brand new one, and it's gonna do much better. I'm gonna attempt to take that notch out with this belt. Hang on. Here's the belt that's been on there. That was the last one that I used, and it's all, you know, flattened out too. Let's put a brand new belt on there. Pretty simple. Now, you've seen me sharpen knives a gazillion times. Let me plug it in. I'm going to spare you the heartache. Yeah, look how coarse that is. And you want to see what it did to the blade? Yeah, that nick is gone. Let's see if I can get ultra close up. Yeah, look at that. That's the exact spot that it was before, where the nick was, and the nick is gone. Now I just need a few of the other belts to kind of polish that edge. As you can see, it's got some grooves in it, although that's not bad. That may help cut, but let me polish this up and then I'll show you. That's the next belt down. Let's sharpen. Nothing like getting the edge stuck on the thing. Oh, I see. It gave loose at the tape. Huh. The edge must have grabbed right there at the seam. Okay, well, even in spite of that, that edge is really nice. There's a little inconsistency in the back. Now that's on me. I guess I didn't go far enough back. But it's sharp. Let's look at the other side. Under the electron microscope. Look at that. Nice sharp edge. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
Now, in all fairness, that was the X4, or the fine belt, what they call the fine belt. And it was a used belt that I've used quite a bit. So it may have been just about ready to give up its ghost. I'm going to stick some crazy glue or ascorilic, this stuff. Every time I think of that word, hyaluronic comes out.
Hyaluronic acid.
And that's not the right word. I'm gonna give it a try. Put a little bit of hyaluronic acid on that.
Cyanoacrylate.
Problem with this stuff is, once you've opened the jar, it doesn't want to. Okay, gotta concentrate. Don't want to stick my fingers together. There you go. I don't have the accelerant. There's an accelerant for this thing that I don't have. Uh-oh, it's leaking out all over the place. I guess I'll just hold it here for a minute. We'll be back. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the goopy stuff. There's that side. I think this is going to work. We'll just let that dry. I wish I had the accelerant. You know, it's kind of a two-part thing. You put the squirt thing on. You do that thing, and then you come along and go. It might even be just alcohol. I can't remember. Any of you guys know? Leave a comment down below. What is that accelerant called? The blade is nice and sharp. Let me demonstrate. Look at that. It works. It really does. Now, I know that's a paper test and, you know, whatever.
What I've found is there's what we call the snake oil technique of shaving or slicing paper. You can't hide behind cutting a piece of 1/4 inch thick tan leather.
Yeah.
But it does show you that it will trim paper. Here's what I got. I got 2 of these. They're the extra coarse. That's the first thing that we use. There's a coarse, they call it the X65, then the medium, the X22, the X4, which is the fine. That's the one that snapped just now. Then there's an extra fine, and that's the 6000 grit, which is basically a strop. And I didn't put the strap on there, didn't think I needed it. I kind of like having just a little bit of that micro serration because I think it does help cut most things. And you see that it cut paper just fine. Very sharp. I like it. If you're interested in a Work Sharp, I'm going to put a link down below. If you already have a Work Sharp Ken Onion Edition, I'll put a link to these belts as well. I bought 2 of these, and I bought 2 of these. There's 5 in this one. This is the coarse. Yeah, the 5 extra coarse P120s. There's 5 of them in there. So I've got 10 belts. That should last me a little while. And then this is the full kit from extra coarse all the way down to extra fine. I bought a couple of those. That ought to get me by. I'll put links to all that stuff down below as well. Oh, yeah, there are other Work Sharp knife sharpeners. And I'm going to put a link to where you can kind of peruse through all of those. If you have knives, and you've seen me with kitchen knives, and I do have the kitchen knife sharpener. Actually, it looks a little bit different these days, but I use it all the time. I take care of all my carving knives, my paring knives, all that kind of stuff in the kitchen. I have that in the kitchen. You can get all sorts of sharpeners, and I would recommend them because they're nice folks, and they make a great product. If you're interested in a Columbia River Knife and Tool home front, I'll put a link to that below as well. Maybe I'll show you some of my other Columbia River Knife and Tool knives in the future. You can always go to my website and or my YouTube channel as well and kind of peruse through that. It'd be kind of cool. Type in knife, knives, something like that. It'll come up. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time. Now I got to go kill some ants.